Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real today. In this world of texting, messaging, and constant notifications, you can learn everything you need to know about a person just by the way they talk to you. Sometimes all it takes is one message to reveal the truth, one sentence, one tone, one disrespectful line that tells you exactly where you stand. And when you see that message, when you feel that shift, when something in your spirit says, "This ain't right," you block him immediately because your peace, your dignity, and your value will always be worth more than a conversation with somebody who doesn't appreciate them. Let me tell you something that a lot of people don't understand about respect, and I want you to listen closely. You see, every time you pick up your phone and read a message, you are deciding how much value you are willing to accept from someone else. And I'm talking about real value here, not just the words they type, but the energy behind them. Every disrespectful message, every careless line, every lazy excuse is a reflection of how someone truly sees you. And if you sit there reading that message thinking, "Maybe I'll let it slide this time," you're giving them permission to lower your standards. You're telling them that your worth is negotiable, that the respect you deserve can be bargained with, and that is a dangerous place to start. Disrespectful messages are like warning signs. You ever drive down the road and see that sign saying, "Sharp curve ahead"? That's what a disrespectful text is. It's a warning. It's telling you exactly what you're dealing with. And some people, they'll try to convince you it's nothing, that you're overreacting, that you should be more understanding. But here's the truth: respect is not something you beg for. It's not something you hope someone gives you if they're in the mood. Respect is the baseline. It's the starting point. And the moment someone crosses that line, even once, it's your job to protect yourself. You do that by stopping the interaction. You don't argue. You don't explain. You don't justify. You block it. You remove that energy from your life because your peace is priceless. See, a lot of people get caught up in the idea that entertaining disrespect is a test. Maybe he's having a bad day. They say, "Maybe she didn't mean it like that." But let me tell you something I've learned over the years. The way someone treats you early on is a preview of what the rest of the relationship, or even the rest of the interaction, will look like. Disrespect is not a one-time accident. It's a pattern. And patterns, once they start, are hard to break. So if a message crosses the line, that's your wake-up call. That's the point where you decide that your value is not up for debate. Your time is not a tool for someone else's amusement. Your energy is not a playground for someone's careless behavior. Every time you allow a disrespectful message to linger in your life, it chips away at your confidence. It makes you question yourself. It makes you think, maybe I'm too sensitive, or maybe I'm overreacting. But no, you are not overreacting. You are responding to the truth. The truth is that disrespect is disrespect, no matter how it's dressed up. And the right response, the mature response, the powerful response is to protect yourself. You do not entertain it. You do not negotiate with it. You do not make excuses for it. You block it immediately. Because when you respect yourself enough to reject disrespect, you are telling the universe, you are telling the world, and most importantly, you are telling yourself that your value cannot be ignored, diminished, or compromised. You ever notice how people reveal more about themselves in a text than they ever do in person? I'm telling you, if you know how to read between the lines, you can figure out someone's true intentions just by the way they type. And this is something a lot of people overlook. They get caught up in the words, the emojis, the little jokes, and they forget to pay attention to the tone. Tone is everything. It's the invisible message that carries the truth. And if a man's tone is lazy, cold, dismissive, or disrespectful, that tells you more about him than anything he could ever say in a face-to-face conversation. Let me be real with you. People don't hide their intentions forever. You don't have to wait months to see who they really are. You don't have to ignore the little red flags because you're afraid of what the truth might mean. The tone is there from the beginning. That short, careless reply, that one-line response that makes you feel small, that delay in answering without explanation, that flippant joke at your expense, that is him showing you exactly how he feels about you. And if you can't see it, you're setting yourself up for heartbreak, frustration, and wasted time. Now, I know some of y'all are thinking, well, maybe he's just busy, or maybe he didn't mean it like that. But let me tell you something, consistent tone does not lie. One day off here or there might be understandable, but patterns don't lie. A man who truly values you will communicate in a way that uplifts you, that makes you feel seen, that respects your time and your energy. His messages will match his intentions. There will be clarity, consistency, and effort. And if those qualities are missing, if the tone is off, cold, careless, or dismissive, that is your signal. That is your warning. The moment you see that tone, you have a choice. You can ignore it and pretend like it's nothing, hoping he'll change. Or you can recognize it for what it is, a window into his character, a mirror of his intentions, a message that tells you whether he is worth your time or not. And I promise you, when you act on that signal, when you trust your instincts and block someone who shows you disrespect, you are protecting more than just your time. You're protecting your heart, confidence, and your future. It's easy to let people get away with tone because it doesn't seem as obvious as a cruel action. Tone is just as powerful. It can chip away at your self-esteem, it can confuse you, and it can make you question yourself. But don't let it. Don't make excuses. Don't justify it. If the tone is wrong, the intention is wrong. And if the intention is wrong, the relationship, the friendship, connection, it's wrong. And the right move is simple: block him, remove that energy, keep moving forward toward people who communicate with respect, clarity, and honesty. Because tone doesn't lie, and you don't have to either. Let me tell you something real today. Peace is everything. And I mean your peace, the kind that lets you sleep at night, focus on your dreams, and walk through life without constantly stressing over someone else's nonsense. Now, some of y'all think peace just happens, like it's a lucky gift or something you stumble into. Nah, it's not like that. Peace is something you guard. Peace is something you fight for. And the way you guard your peace is by setting firm boundaries. Because when you allow people to cross lines in your life, when you let them disrespect you, manipulate you, or waste your time, you are slowly giving away your peace without even realizing it. You see, boundaries are like fences around your house. They don't mean you don't want visitors. They don't mean you don't like people. They mean you're serious about who and what you let in. And when it comes to men, when it comes to relationships, boundaries are not negotiable. That lazy text, that disrespectful comment, that careless attitude, if you don't put your foot down, it's going to keep happening. And every time it happens, it chips away at your confidence, it drains your energy, and it takes a little piece of your peace with it. That is why you have to be firm. That is why you have to be clear. That is why you have to say, this stops here. I will not tolerate it. Some people think boundaries are harsh or mean. But here's the thing: boundaries are love. Boundaries are self-respect. Boundaries are the way you say to the world, I know my worth, and I will not let anyone treat me less than that. When you set firm boundaries, you are protecting your time, your energy, and your heart. You are teaching people how to treat you. Because if you tolerate disrespect, people will keep testing you. If you let a man cross a line once, he will test that same line again and again. But the moment you enforce your boundary, the moment you say no more, something powerful happens. You reclaim control, you reclaim respect, you reclaim peace. And let me tell you, enforcing boundaries is not easy. Some people will push back, try to guilt you, try to make you feel bad for saying no. But that's their problem, not yours. Your job is not to explain, not to argue, not to justify. Your job is to protect yourself. Your job is to put your peace above anything else. And when you do that consistently, you will notice something amazing. The people who truly respect you will rise to meet your boundaries, and the people who don't will fall away. And that's exactly what you want. That's how you clear space for the right energy, the right people, and the right connections. So never underestimate the power of firm boundaries. They are not walls to keep love out. They are gates to protect your peace. And in this world, peace is priceless, and you have every right to defend it with everything you've got. Let me break it down for you, because this is one of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to relationship, dating, or even friendships. Time is the one thing you can never get back. Once it's gone forever. And yet so many people allow others to waste their time, make them wait, treat their time like it doesn't matter. I'm telling you, if a man plays with your time, if he keeps you waiting, disappears without explanation, only reaches out when it's convenient for him, you do not negotiate with that behavior. You do not make excuses. You do not rationalize it. You block it, you remove it, and you protect your life from people who treat your time like it's disposable. You see, a man who respects you will respect your schedule. He will respect the effort you put into your life, into your goals, into your day. He won't leave you hanging, wondering where you stand. He won't keep you guessing about whether he cares or not. The moment someone makes your time feel optional, the moment they treat your presence like a favor, that is a red flag waving in your face. And if you choose to negotiate with that, if you choose to compromise your standards, you are telling them, it's okay to treat me like this. And once you give permission, the behavior doesn't stop, it escalates. People often think that negotiating will fix things. Maybe if I explain it to him, he'll understand. Maybe if I compromise a little, he'll meet me halfway. Let me tell you something from experience. You cannot negotiate respect. You cannot negotiate consistency. You cannot negotiate effort. Those things are either there or they're not. And if they're not, no amount of talking, pleading, or compromising is going to change that. The right people will show up for you without you having to convince them. They will value your time as much as you value it. They will honor your presence without hesitation or excuses. And let's get real, playing with your time is a form of disrespect. It's saying your life, your schedule, your energy, your priorities, none of that matters to me. And when someone sends that message repeatedly, it's not a misunderstanding, it's a pattern. And patterns don't lie. You've got to pay attention to what people do, not just what they say. Words are cheap. Actions are expensive. And when their actions show that your time isn't a priority, that's the moment you stop negotiating and start protecting yourself. So if a man plays with your time, block him immediately. Do not drag it out. Do not give him another chance to prove you wrong. You protect your energy, you protect your schedule, and you protect your life. Because the people who truly matter will meet you where you are. They will value what you value. They will respect the time you give, and the rest, they fall away. And that, my friend, is exactly how it should be. Let me tell you something that most people miss when it comes to relationships and friendships. Your energy is precious. I mean, really precious. It's not just about being busy or tired. It's about where you invest yourself, who you invest in, and who actually deserves your time and effort. Some people think that just because someone smiles at them or says the right things or occasionally shows up, that they deserve a place in their life. But that's not how it works. Your energy should go to people who are consistent, people who show up, who follow through, match their words with their actions. If someone is all over the place, if they disappear for days, if they act hot and cold, that person is not worth your energy. See, consistency is like the currency of trust. You can say anything you want, but if your actions don't match your words are worthless. People who are consistent make life easier. They make you feel safe, they make you feel valued, and they make you feel respected. They don't keep you guessing. They don't leave you wondering whether they care or not. And that's exactly what you need in your life, people who bring steady, real, dependable energy that matches yours. Because your energy is a reflection of you, it's your power, your peace, your focus. And when you give it to people who are unreliable, chaotic, disrespectful, you are giving pieces of yourself away for nothing. Let me be real with you. It's tempting to keep hoping that someone will change. Maybe he'll get better, you think. Maybe she'll start showing up consistently. But hope without action is wasted energy. People do not change unless they want to, and even then, change takes time and effort. If someone has shown you over and over that they are inconsistent, that they are careless with your feelings, that they don't prioritize you, why would you keep pouring your energy into that? Why would you keep giving time, attention, and emotion to someone who doesn't show up for you the way you show up for them? The truth is, life is too short to waste on inconsistency. You don't have the time, the energy, or the patience to babysit people who can't manage their own behavior. The right people will meet you where you are. They will respect your time, your energy, and your worth. And the rest, they don't get a place in your life. They don't get to drain you, confuse you, or distract you from what really matters. You have to be strong enough to say no, to block, to remove, to protect your energy. Because when you start giving your energy only to those who are consistent, that's when your life starts flowing the way it's supposed to. That's when peace, clarity, and respect finally show up. So remember this, your energy is sacred. Don't waste it on people who are inconsistent, careless, or unreliable. Save it for the ones who are real, who are steady, and who show up the way they say they will. That's how you protect your life, your heart, and your future. Let me tell you something that too many people don't understand. Respect is not something you get by hoping people will treat you right. Self-respect is built every single time you make a choice to stand up for yourself, every time you refuse to accept less than you deserve, and every time you cut off disrespect the moment it shows its face. I'm talking about those moments when someone says something careless, acts cold, crosses a boundary that you know should never be crossed. Those are the moments that define you, the moments that shape your confidence, the moments that teach the world and yourself how you expect to be treated. If you ignore those moments, if you let them slide, if you tolerate disrespect, you are lowering your standards without even realizing it. And let me be clear, once you lower your standards, it's a slippery slope that leads to frustration, heartbreak, and confusion. Disrespect is not something you negotiate with. It's not something you explain away with excuses like, maybe he didn't mean it, or maybe she was having a bad day. Disrespect is disrespect. It doesn't matter what form it takes. Whether it's a careless text, a rude comment, a dismissive attitude, or even subtle manipulation, it's a sign of someone's true character. And the moment you see it, the moment you feel that gut instinct that says, something's not right here, that is the exact moment to act. Don't wait until it happens again. Don't wait until it escalates. Don't think that maybe you can fix it with patience or explanations. Cut it off early. block it, remove it, walk away from it. Because every time you allow it to continue, you are sending yourself and the world a message that you are willing to accept being treated poorly. And that is the fastest way to erode your self-respect. Let me tell you something about patterns. People rarely change overnight. The behavior that shows itself early is almost always the behavior that will continue. If a man or a woman shows carelessness, disrespect, disregard for your feelings in the beginning, it's not going to magically turn into consistent respect later on. You've got to pay attention to the signals. You've got to read the energy. And when the first signs of disrespect appear, that is the moment you protect yourself. That is the moment you stop tolerating behavior that diminishes your value. That is the moment you decide that your self-respect is more important than anyone's opinion, anyone's excuses, anyone's temporary presence in your life. Self-respect grows like a muscle. It grows every